on MySpace, there's a show that's being promoted or featured with you guys on it. It's MySpace.
Oh, is it one of those secret MySpace shows?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, how did that get set up?
No idea whatsoever, man.
Is your PR, your label, who that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I think it's our label in Canada. Which was formerly Underground Operations, but now it's Universal.
It's Universal.
Which is cool.
So you're a major.
Yeah.
So how does it feel being on Universal?
Slimy. You know, we went in there and it's not that slimy, but it's just like we recognize that the label's function is to make money, and that the people will be exploiting our music, so why not exploit them back?
How do you plan on doing that?
Just by accepting the 300 workers to work around us and help us. You know, like they have a team of like 300 people in there, and it's just like we can take advantage of every single one of them. They're the same; they get to take advantage of us, so it's kind of like a symbiotic relationship.
Are you because as a lot of people know, major labels will often force certain services on a band, and build a band for those services. So, I mean, how much does it concern you that these 300 workers around you are actually coming out of your paycheck?
Well, my paycheck is very small, so I don't think if it is coming out of my paycheck, they're not getting very much.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm not too concerned.
Fair enough. What do you think about MySpace? Does it help? Does it hinder the progress of music?
It's hard to say. I think the internet's a great thing for music, downloading and all that wonderful stuff. But with MySpace, you get so many fucking kids in their basement that are just like, we're in a band now, and they just kind of put their stuff all over the internet, that it's very hard to sift through the shit, to find the actual legitimate stuff. And it just becomes very daunting to like go on there and listen to a new band, because a majority of the bands that are recording and like putting their stuff on MySpace is just trashy basement stuff.
So, I mean, are there any solutions to kind of getting rid of the fat?
I don't know. I haven't thought that much into it. I just kind of ignored it. Just like, I'm done listening to music.
Yeah, that's good. Now, a fun question. What is your personal and also the band's favorite ways of partying on the road?
Well, most of us just enjoy drinking our faces off. We don't really party. We just kind of sit around, just get drunk and pass out. And then our rhythm section likes to get very high on marijuana cigarettes. Yeah, well, I guess we party. I don't know. We just get drunk and fight each other. It's really bizarre. You wake up with like scratches all over yourself. Just like, what the fuck happened?
It's pretty hot.
Yeah, it's pretty sexy.
What would you say to a site that would want to film you guys wrestling in a drunken stupor?
I would agree to it for a minimal fee.
Good answer.
Thank you.
A controversial question. I was at the show when you opened for Dragon Force, and were booed.
Yes, booed quite vehemently.
Heavily.
Yeah.
Now, if you could tell me, was that an isolated incident? How did it make you feel?
Well, that happened all throughout that tour. Pretty much every day. Doesn't really affect me. It gave us a little thicker skin, so I'm happy that it happened. It was kind of strange that it happened in Montreal, like, in our home country. But beyond that, like, we don't give a fuck, man. Like, it feels kind of good. It's just like, the kids at those shows are like 17-year-old kids with like long hair, and the only metal band they've ever heard is fucking Dragon Force. So they're just like, well, I know more about metal than everyone. I'm gonna chuck a can of Pepsi at you. So like at the end of the day, I'm not that upset about it. They're just a bunch of idiots.
And now look whose profile is rising.
Yeah.
So the cream does rise to the top.
Yeah. And Crewman Lee said something really nice about us in like some like Guitar World, and like all their fans were in like uproar. They're like, those fucking faggots! Just going bananas on us. It was hilarious.
It's amazing. Kids who listen to you guys and say, I love Protest the Hero. I love their sound. Where do they get their influences from? How would you recommend kids get their chops up? What should they listen to?
Well, vocally speaking, I'd say anything operatic, anything, sort of theater arts.
So some artists, for example, albums in particular?
Colm Wilkinson, any of his solo stuff. Russell Allen from Symphony X. Mike Patton. Rob Halford for sure. Trying to think. Jeff Buckley. Jeff Buckley's a good one. Those are like the main vocalists that come to mind when I think of like influence or like getting your like range up or your techniques down. That's where I derive most of mine and have over the years.
How about the heavier element of the band? What influences you make up that component?
That comes from a lot of places. We listen to a lot of like Necrophagist, Aeon, Cryptopsy, a band called Sixth from the UK, stuff like that. Like we're all over the fucking place with what we listen to. Like I don't care. I'll listen to like Garth Brooks' Paramore. Like doesn't matter to me.
No limits, eh?
No limits.
You're from Ontario. A number of bands from Ontario these days and getting quite big. How would you explain this almost Canadian rock, revival, this rock revolution that seems to be happening in Eastern Canada?
I think it's just like it's been so stagnant for so long. All the bands that were getting like big were obviously just coming from the States, and I think this is sort of just like a lashback at that.
Revenge.
Yeah, absolutely. I think some of my favorite Canadian bands come from fucking Quebec. Like Cryptopsy. Who's that like serious death grind band from Quebec? Not Cryptopsy. The other one.
Beneath Your Axes?
Oh, Beneath the Massacre.
Beneath the Massacre.
Yes, fuck. Jesus, they have one of the like best like kind of death grind scenes going on in Canada, and actually there's nowhere better for it really until you cross the sea. And then you get into like the satanic Norwegian stuff.
That you haven't gotten to yet.
No.
But once you do discover that, it'll be a combination of operatic and Norwegian, which will be more interesting.
Yeah.
iTunes. Your songs are available for purchase on iTunes.
Yep.
A lot of bands are. Talk a little bit about the advent of iTunes and what you think it's doing for the industry. Is it good for music? Bad?
I think it's good for the industry. It's just like lashing back at like Soulseek because all those damn things, torrents that people just like download and shit like that. But I think it's really bad for music. Not iTunes specifically, but industry is bad for music. Anything that you have an incorporated business working around an art form, I think that's the absolute consequence. And I'd very much like to see the death of the industry in relation to music, even though it is helping propel us to a certain height. There are other ways you can do that, and you can get around all the bullshit because the industry pumps out all this saturation of contrived nonsense, and they support it and they keep it up. And I think if it falls to rise, if it falls, you'll see a lot more integrous music coming out because people, you'll have to dig for it, you'll have to find it, as opposed to having it shoved down your throat in 2 seconds.
Last question. Advice for young kids who want to start a band. How to steer them away from getting into some kind of a, contract that they'll never get out of.
Don't start a band. Manage one. There's no money in bands, man. It's all industry jerks taken out of our pockets.
Any albums, bands, books, movies, artists you'd like to plug before we finish?
Victor Hugo, Les Miserables. Bands, Sixth, Death of a Dead Day, Trees of Dead and Gone. That's definitely the best 2 records I've fucking heard in my life.
And how do you plan on staying healthy and alive on the road over the next 2 months?
Cigarettes, whiskey, and wild, wild women.